Sorry, I had to put that in there. Okay, so we are gonna. That was Dead Mouse, by the way. Yeah, I'm lame. Anyway, so we're gonna go over this. I thought I'd try Camtasia to see if it might be helpful for some of you. So feel free to pause, rewind, fast forward, and hopefully this kind of gets the point across a bit better. So basically, all I've done is I put the checkpoint into this little notepad document so we can go through it step by step and get everything done in the right order. So just to start, we're going to go and click on that first link that everyone went to, this one here. And for these purposes, we're just going to use these first two videos. Just keep it simple. So you need to right click on download and click Save Link As. Some other ones has some other form like Save File As or Save Path As or things like that. But for this it says Save Link As. If you have a question, just email me and I can find the other version of it. So anyway, save this to your desktop. So I already saved it about 3,000 times. So it comes up like this. Just click Save. I'm going to click Cancel just because I already have it there. Okay. And then do the same thing for the second video. So right click on download, save link as, and put these on your desktop, okay? And I've already saved this one a million times as well, so I'm going to hit cancel, but you guys hit save. Alright, so now we have our videos. I'm going to close these, and now we are going to go into Photoshop. So click on Photoshop and we're going to start a new blank file. So go to File, New, and leave it on Custom. You don't have to name it anything. And up or down here by width and height, the standard definition for the screen is 720 by 480 pixels. So yours probably says something different. So under width, type 720. Make sure that says pixels. And 480 and make sure that's pixels, and also make this 72 pixels per inch, because otherwise if you make it any bigger it's going to be humongous. So always 72 until I say something different. And so color mode, keep it RGB because that's what videos are, and hit OK. So now we have this lovely blank document. So we can go here and we have done select file new. We have set the width and we have made it RGB. And we've also selected it to be just a white background. So all of that can be deleted. Done. Alright, now so we have our blank canvas and we're going to make these into the text title overlay elements of the video. So we're going to select the text tool. I'm going to bold it. So select the text tool in Photoshop. It's the T. And just click. And then type your name or scene 1. And if you want, you can make it bigger. Do whatever. Doesn't really matter. It's just so you can get comfortable with it. Don't worry about making it pretty. So we've done that. We have just clicked on the canvas and we have just typed. So that's done. So if you right click on the text tool, you also can do vertical text. So this text tool, if you hold down, I'm not sure about a PC, but for me, if I hold down, I get the vertical type tool. So if you're on a PC and that's not working, try the right click and that'll get you there. And you want to click on this vertical type tool. So click that. And then just click once on the canvas and type something. And voila, look at that. You typed vertically. Woo. Okay, so we're done that. So we're basically done that whole first step. Goodbye. Goodbye. So when we're finished, we click Save. And save the file in a PSD, because a PSD means that it saves all the elements. So if you have several layers, you'll be able to come back and edit those. If you save it as a JPEG, all of this is going to be deleted and it'll be one background, and that's not good. So we're going to File, Save As, put it on your desktop, and just call it Title. And make sure it's .psd and this says Photoshop, and hit Save. And you can say OK. So now you can see that the title has changed on here. It says title.psd. So we're done that part. Delete. Okay, so using Photoshop to select correct video material. So we've already taken a minute to look for our videos. Oops, sorry. So we're done that part. And we're done that part. So it is important you be able to download the video material in common video container formats like .mov or .avi. And ours are already good. We have .avis for ours. So don't even worry about that. So we can delete that. Done. Now open the video file in Photoshop and activate the motion workspace. So we're going to go to Photoshop. We're going to go to File, Open, and on the desktop we'll work with 4L Toys.avi, that one, and say Open. Okay, so now we have our first video, and make sure that you go to Window, go to Workspace, and click Video. And that's going to give us this timeline. And you can see she's moving. Okay, and a faster way to do that, sometimes up here it says Essentials. So click Essentials and click Video. And you have your timeline. Okay, so make sure you have all that. That's done. Towards the bottom of the screen, you should have an animation timeline that can be used to scrub or move through the different points in time in the video. Pressing the space bar should start and stop a playback loop. So here is the timeline where you can scrub through. If you push the space bar, it'll start it. Push the space bar again, it stops it. Or you can use these buttons down here as well. Okay, so we're going to delete that. So now we're going to click Image and go to Image Size. So I'm going to move this over here. Go to Image, Image Size. So we can see the width and height of our video. So, like it says here, if it isn't 720 by 480, so change it. So right here, before we do that, yours probably looks like this. Make sure you unclick Constrain Proportions. Make sure there is not a check mark beside Constrain Proportions. Now, go back up here. Make sure you're under Pixel Dimensions, not Document Size. So Pixel Dimensions, the width, change the width to 720 and the height to 480. And make sure this is pixels, not inches, pixels. Okay? Now you can say OK. Alright, so looking good. So you could just say OK to what that said. It just said it had to make it a smart layer. That's fine. Say OK, you're good to go. And this part you might need to unclick Constrain Proportions. That's what we just did. So we're done that. Now we're going to go click Window, go to Adjustments, click Adjustments, and these are all the different presets. So we've done Click Window, Adjustments. So he's just saying that you can feel free to be as crazy or as conservative as you want, and yep, so you can do basically whatever you want. So we're just going to delete that and just play around, do something really quick right now. Don't know. There, we've made her green. Okay, so we're done section B. On to section C. So now let's render this project to a video file that could be shared with others, import into future stages of video work. Basically, this is a matter of going to File, Export, Render Video. So we're going to go to File, Export, Render Video. Okay, so it's all set up there. Alright, and basically we have to make this into a QuickTime movie file, and also needs to have that H.264 compression and 29.97 frames per second. So under here we have our QuickTime export, QuickTime movie, click settings again, and under this tab for animation, oops, hold down and click on H.264. That's what we want. And we want it to be 29.97 frames per second. So we'll change this to 29.97 frames. And we'll say OK. And you can say OK to this. Alright. And now we're done that part. Okay. So all we have to say now is select a folder, put it on the desktop, choose, and we'll call it our Toys New so we don't get confused. And click Render. It might take a minute. Okay, so now we are going to use Photoshop to edit, compose video material. So this will take 15 minutes. So Photoshop can be used to do simple video editing. And now we will demonstrate this by using Photoshop to produce a jump cut. When one video sequence ends, another starts immediately in the next frame. Choose a new piece of Creative Commons video material. We already did that way back at the beginning. We have that second one. So that's done. So now we're going to go to File, Open, and ours is called 4L Petrushka 02, so say Open. Okay. So remember we have to change its size. So we want to go to Image, Image Size, make sure Constraint Proportions does not have a checkpoint, and under Pixel Dimensions, the width is going to be 720 by 480, and make sure it's pixels. And you can say OK. And transforming a video layer requires converting it to a smart object layer, say Convert. Alright, and just so you can see, there's the video. Alright, so now that we've done that, delete that. Now we're going to render it as a new video file. So we'll go File, Export, Render Video. Okay, so we're going to go under File Options, QuickTime Export. It's a QuickTime movie. Go to the Settings, click Settings again, and everything here is set up. Alright. Oops. Don't worry too much. You're fine. It did the same thing down here. And say OK. And say OK. And we can, we'll just rename this. We'll call them Russians New. And make sure it's on your desktop. So you can go select Folder, Desktop, and we're going to render. Okay, so that's done. Complete. Now go back to your Photoshop video project from ABC above. Okay, so that means we're going to go back here. And so we're back here. We're going to go to Layer, Video Layers. So move this over. We're going to go to Layer, Video Layers, New Video Layer. Video Layers. New video layer from File. And we're going to find that new one that we made. So on our Russians, we have R, Russians new.mov, and say open. And so that is on top of the dolls. So right here I am hiding the layer, so you can see that's on top. This one's on the bottom. Okay, so we can delete that. You can click and drag on the bars in the animation timeline to change where the two clips happen in time. Drag them so that one starts right where the other ends. Okay, when you play the project, you should see an immediate transition from one clip to the next. So we're going to go here, and you can see the different layers. So layer 2, right here, it says layer 2. Layer 2, right? So layer 2 is the Russians. Layer 2 right here is the Russians. So with this, you can drag this over and go to the beginning and hit spacebar. Bam! How awesome is that? Okay? Alright, and then if you want to make this shorter, you make them the same length or whatever. Ta-da! Okay, so you got your video. You're all good. So, so when you play the project, you should see an immediate transition from one clip to the next. Just as before, you can render the result of this video composition as a new single video file from File, Export, Render Video. So, also it says here, do not forget to save it as a Photoshop PSD file, because if you don't do that, you can't come back and change these things. So the PSD is kind of like a really nifty briefcase, and it's got all your files in there. They're all organized perfectly in the right order, and you want to save that. You don't want to throw out your briefcase. So we'll just save it as a PSD, or you know what, we'll export it first. So we'll go to Export, Render Video, we'll call it Woot. And so select folder, we'll go to the desktop, choose that, and hit render. Might take a minute, right? Okay, so our video should be saved, and now we want to go to File, Save As. We'll call it woot.psd. Save it to your desktop. Hit save. Yes, just say okay. That's not a big deal. Okay, so now I'm going to get rid of Photoshop, and we're going to watch our movie. Ta-da! See? Okay. So, yeah, that's basically it. And here's our woot.psd that we saved. So we can come back, edit things, change things, and if you want to change things and do whatever, just make sure when you're done, export, render video, and you're good to go. So I'm just going to close this. And I hope things aren't as complicated for you now. And my dog didn't bark, so that was a success. I really hope this helped. Let me know if you like this, and I'll try to do this for most of the tutorials from now on. Okay, good night. Bye.